I'm Stephanie Fisher, the Crafty Thinker. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how I paint a watercolour monochrome flower using 2 ink colours. This is a companion to my previous more detailed video, so if you haven't already, you'll probably want to watch that first. The YouTube address for that is showing at the top of the screen. Sometimes I have to use different colours to get the depth of colour that I want in places. So just now we were doing one that was, I only used Cajun Craze on Tangelo Twist cardstock. This one here I'm using Calypso Coral cardstock, and I think I'm going to have to use a mixture of Calypso Coral and Watermelon Wonder to get the depth that I want. So just as a starter, this one I've loaded up at the moment with Calypso Coral, just the same as before, darker, starting off where I want it to be darkest and then blending outwards. I'm going straight into just straight Calypso Coral now, and again going where I want it the darkest first and then blending out. But you see there's not a lot of, because I'm using the same colour paper, I need something else to help me get the darks. So now I'm going into straight Watermelon Wonder ink, and I'm dropping that in and hoping that that's going to be dark enough. So now I have to wash my brush every time very carefully in between petals to remove the darker shade before I go back into the lighter one to start off the next petal. Into the straight Calypso Coral. Straight into the Watermelon Wonder. I think that will work. So this has all had its first paint with the Watermelon Wonder and Calypso Coral, and this one here you can see I've started to add a little bit of more Watermelon Wonder to provide a bit more shadow, because as it is at the moment there are not enough dark shadows to give it the depth. So I'll just go through and add some more Watermelon Wonder to try and give it more shadows, and then if I need more colour, more depth, then I will start using a marker as I did before. So this one was a lot more problem to do than the Tangelo Twist one, maybe because of the depth of this cardstock. I don't know. That's one thing you need to, or that needs to be borne in mind when you do the watercolouring on the coloured cardstock, is the actual tone of the cardstock. So really you're looking for something with a mid-tone, not too dark and not too light, and then what happens is that in some places you can use the colour of the cardstock as well. So here, for instance, that's just cardstock. So I've gone darker and then left that lighter, and that just then looks like a highlight. But obviously if you have a cardstock that's too dark, it's going to be very difficult to get the shadows in, and if you have one that's too light, everything will look just a bit too dark. It'll be hard to get the blending right. So another little tip there, look at the colour of the cardstock that you use. Not all of them are suitable. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, and I hope it proves helpful for you. I'm certainly not a watercolourist and I'm not a teacher, so please bear that in mind when you're using my tips.